Memorial University.
Now, hospitality services, what exactly is that?
Hospitality services and scheduling means that the office is the nerve center of the campus. Every meeting, every event, every happening that takes place anywhere on campus, we are responsible for scheduling and assisting in coordinating that activity.
Now, how long have you been here at Florida Memorial, and how did you end up here at Florida Memorial?
Actually, I've been here 3 years, and I moved from Birmingham, Alabama, and married a gentleman that I went to college with over 30 years ago. So that's how I ended up here in Miami. Thus, of course, seeing that there was a position opening here at the university, and it was, of course, things that I had done before. Director of Tourism, working for the mayor's office under 3 mayors, tourism director for the Convention and Visitors Bureau in Birmingham. So the things that they needed here on campus, of course, were things that I knew that I could do, and hopefully everything would work out. And so I was glad to see the position was open, and came and interviewed, and here I am.
So what is the biggest challenge for you working with, I guess, a college, a university institution, as opposed to Convention and Visitors Bureau, as well as the city?
Well, of course, you're working with adults, and in the settings that I mentioned. Here you're working with students, but of course, faculty, staff, and the external community. And I think people are or have been accustomed to coordinating meetings and scheduling meetings in less time that needs to be done in order to ensure that that event goes off well. And so what we've done is put many processes in order so that people follow guidelines. Because when you go out to a hotel, you go out to a resort or a facility that holds meetings and events, there is a timeline. You just don't walk up and say, I want to meet here next week, because it doesn't work like that. And in order for you to make sure that your meeting is the very best that it can be, you need to schedule it way in advance, so that the snafus that will come with poor planning, we can certainly work those out if we do it far in advance.
In your office, and you specifically, you serve more than just the college community. What is the outreach? Do you also serve the surrounding community?
Well, when I came here, one of the things that was discussed was that the university was interested rather in availing the university to the community at large. And that was music to my ears, because I had worked with neighborhood associations, the Chamber of Commerce in Birmingham for several years. And in working with neighborhood associations and other for-profit and non-profit organizations, the community was certainly a way for me to continue the work that I had done in Birmingham. And so we took the groundwork that had already been laid with some groups, of course, that had met here, and we extended ourselves from there. So we do a great number of repeat business, and we have brought in several groups that have never been on the campus, let alone not even know where we are here in the community. And that, to me, is the biggest challenge, to figure out how we get on the map to let people know that we are here and that we want to avail the university to groups. So a lot of word of mouth takes place. And as I said, we do quite a bit of repeat business. And once people come and see what we have, because remember now, this place is a different place, so I understand. Of course, I've only been here 3 years, so I can only go by what people tell me, but it's a different place cosmetically than it was before, because now the campus is beautiful, the flowers, the lawn is manicured. We walk around, we see paper on the ground, we pick it up. All of us are stakeholders in making sure that the campus stays clean, looks pretty, and that we greet our guests and make everybody who comes on campus feel welcome. And that's our job, and others.
And part of what you do also, I guess, you have large venues, but you can also accommodate smaller for like meetings and things of that nature. So organizations. What are some of the entities that that have come here? Because I think you've had everything from the federal government down to the local community organizations.
We've had the Jamaican Nurses Association here. We've had the Baptist Women's Council. We've had FCAA that just had a fashion show and tea here. We had Homeland Security for the first time.
And one last thing, I noticed that you are very hands-on, so I guess it's one thing people don't realize, that you are a one-woman operation. So how do you what is your typical day? Is there a typical day?
No. I think as you've seen this morning, and as Mr. Nell said, there are no typical days. I guess I would say from the time I get up in the morning and we talk before I get here about what's happening, what's going to take place, what needs to be our first step. But it's a consortium. But anytime we welcome people Monday through Friday to stop by the office and come in, and we'll be more than happy to give them a tour and talk to them about any upcoming meetings or events that they might have.
Now, one of the facilities that Ms. Bendross is also scheduling for is the Rawls Center for the Performing Arts. We're going to hear now from Ms. Pat Warren about what this facility contains and what type of events can be hosted there. Here's Ms. Pat Warren.
Excited to be standing right here in the Rawls Center for the Performing Arts. And for those of you that have not been, please come by and see this $12.3 million facility, which is quite a statuesque, shall I say, sanctuary of theater. It seats 450 people, quaint but yet interesting enough to enjoy the show. There is no bad seat in the house, by the way. When you enter the theater, you have a beautiful lobby, you have your glass structure that you can see through, you have what is called the fiber optic lighting, which is a very, very elaborate feature for this theater, and the wood that's on the walls is bird's eye maple. And that gives a nice, beautiful background as it relates to the walls. So once you enter the door from that lobby, you will find that it's a beautiful facility with soft cushioned seats. We have a pro sound console for our sound, and we have what is called strand lighting. And this gives us professional lighting and professional sound, by the way, for those of you that will be coming. We know many of you will be coming to the theater. Now, once you pass the light board and the sound room, I should say, you then walk down the aisles of the theater, which is very, very beautiful. Now, on the inside of the theater, we do have a catwalk which houses the structure for lighting. So we have very sophisticated lighting right here in the Rawls Center for the Performing Arts. Our stage, it's not just about the fact that it's a huge stage of 86 inches long, but that it is professional in that we have a rigging system. And some people out there who've been to theater and behind the scenes, they've seen the fly system where you can fly in from the back wall. You have a cyclorama, you have backdrops, you have a scrim, and those can be flown in so that we can enhance the production of whatever show we're going to present here at the Rawls Center for Performing Arts.
So this facility is open for the community?
Yes, it is. By the way, 25% of the use of the facility must be by the community based on funding through the South Florida Cultural Affairs Council. Monies that were generated allows for 25% of the use of the community, which really has somewhat exceeded in terms of requests, because since it's so new and so beautiful, as you know, you have a lot of people in the community requesting. We had the mayor here of Miami Gardens and 100 Black Men from the community and some of the high schools as well.
And what's the one great thing for you being the first PAC director? What's the one thing that keeps you excited about the newness and all the changes that's coming?
The defining moment continues to grow for me because I have an opportunity to market the theater by meeting and greeting individuals who choose to come and use the theater by virtue of renting it, and those guests that come in to support it, those events. And by the way, this is my second life as director. This is the official directing moment, I should say. I was here in 1978, telling my age a little bit, but it's okay.
Lots of drama in the Lou Rawls Center for the Performing Arts. That is our show. Thank you for watching, and tune in again for another Baltimore University Today. I'm Michael Douglas.